All right, let's get right into it because some pretty big news just dropped. Silver, the metal we think of for jewelry and coins, just got a huge promotion. But not from the market. This one came directly from the US government. And this new title, well, it's powerful, it's a little surprising, and honestly, it's potentially pretty worrying. You'd think this would be fantastic news for silver, right? But some analysts are actually calling it the most dangerous compliment silver has ever received. Wow. Just that one phrase completely changes the story. It takes what looks like a win and turns it into something way more complicated.
And that's the big question we're going to unpack here. Why on earth would an official government nod of approval be seen as a threat? Let's be real, when a government suddenly gets really interested in an asset, it's not always for the asset's own good.
So here's the news that kicked this all off. The US government has officially added silver to its 2025 list of critical minerals. We're talking about the same list as stuff like copper and silicon. And I want to be super clear, this isn't just some dusty old administrative list. This is a major policy statement, and it has the power to totally reshape the silver market. Okay, so let's break down what this new label actually means. When the government slaps the word critical on a mineral, what are they really saying? The official language can be a little dry, but trust me, the implications are huge. So here it is, the official definition. It's basically a two-part test. First, the mineral has to be essential for the economy or for national security. And second, its supply chain has to be fragile, vulnerable to being disrupted. It's not enough for it to just be important. There also has to be a real risk attached. That combo is everything. But let's cut through the government speak for a second. The source material puts it perfectly. These are simply materials the state believes it cannot safely depend on the rest of the world to provide. Suddenly, this isn't about economics anymore, is it? This is about geopolitics. It's about control. And that right there, that gets to the absolute heart of it. What we're seeing is a fundamental change in how silver is viewed. It's no longer just a pretty metal for jewelry, or even just another industrial part. In the minds of policymakers, silver has been reclassified. It's gone from decorative to defensive. It is now officially a strategic national asset. All right, so we get what critical means. But now for the big question. So what? How does this new label actually change things in the real world? Well, the source points to 5 key changes we should probably expect. Think of this as the ripple effect. First, it could fast-track approvals for new mines and make it easier to get funding. Second, it pulls silver right into the world of national security, trade policies. Third, and this is a big one, it gives government agencies the green light to start stockpiling it. It also completely changes the psychology of the market, bringing in new, serious investors. And finally, you can bet it's going to lead to more government demands for data. Any one of these is a big deal. All of them together, that's a massive shift. Now, out of all those changes, let's zoom in on the 2 that could have the biggest, most immediate impact. First, silver could now get hit with national security tariffs, which could throw global trade for a loop. And second, government agencies now have a solid reason to start buying up silver and building official stockpiles. That could inject a huge new buyer into an already tight market. So, this all leads to the central debate here. Is this new label a real, substantive policy change that's going to reshape the silver market for good? Or is it more of a symbolic gesture, with Washington just kind of catching up to what the market figured out a long time ago? You've kind of got 2 camps. On one side, people are saying, look, headlines are just headlines, supply and demand still rule the day, this is just talk. But the other side is arguing that by officially recognizing silver's strategic role, the government is basically sending up a flare, signaling to a whole new class of strategic investors that this is a market to be in. And that second argument, the substance argument, really boils down to this one powerful idea. As the source puts it, silver is not a luxury metal. It is infrastructure. Now, for anyone in tech or industry, that's old news. But what's brand new is that the government is finally, officially saying it out loud. And why is it infrastructure? Because you literally cannot build our modern world without it. Think about it. Every single solar panel, every electric vehicle, every circuit board in your phone or computer, they all depend on silver. Its role in our tech is exactly why it's now getting this official, critical stamp of approval. So, after all that, what's the big takeaway here? How should we be thinking about this? The source suggests looking at it through 2 different lenses at the same time, as a reason for caution, but also as a potential catalyst. Here's the dilemma, right? The caution is,
If a government calls a metal critical today, what's stopping them from wanting to control its price or who owns it tomorrow? But the flip side, the catalyst, is that this official recognition shines a massive spotlight on silver's importance, and that could attract a flood of new money into the market.
Maybe the best way to think about this isn't as some sudden storm, but more like a weather vane. It's a really powerful signal. A weather vane doesn't create the wind, but it sure as heck tells you which way it's blowing. And in this case, the wind is blowing in a direction the market has been whispering about for years. Silver is absolutely fundamental. And that leaves us with this incredible tension. On one side, you have governments, and they always crave control over things they deem strategic. And on the other, you have markets, which thrive on the freedom to set prices. And now, silver is caught right in the middle of that epic tug of war. Where that leaves the metal, well, that has become the most critical question of all.